Greetings, it's Saturday morning and I just released a video on building my new workbench, and still has some stuff left on here from the last thing that I did, which was actually using it, and I filmed that and I put it in the video. I finished it with water-based polyurethane, which is a semi-gloss, which is a little bit shiny, so I'm going to rub the top over with this Scotch-Brite pad to take the glare off. I've already noticed that there's a glare on it, which I didn't want. That's the reason why I used the darker wood for the top. When you're filming, it's hard because the lights are shining down and they're making everything bright right here where everything else is kind of dark around. Anyway, so I'm going to rub that on there like that, and then I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about in this video. And it's about what happens if the wood is not dry enough. I have this box that I made back in October 2019, back when things are still somewhat sane, and I'm going to show you what happened to it over the, well, nearly 2 years since I built it. Okay, so that's more better, and I'm going to get this out of the way. The first dent. All right, and you can hardly even notice. I'm going to give it another one. What the heck? People said this is too pretty to use. Well, yeah, kind of. But it is a workbench, okay? And it is just wood. So, there we go. Put that back in here. I'm loving this, by the way, I gotta say. This is probably my best idea yet. Getting rid of the tool board that was up there, putting everything inside these drawers. I'll break in here for a second and tell you that this is my next full tutorial on the Maker's Mob. It's actually live right now as you're watching this video. And for a limited time, you can sign up and get access to everything on the site for 75% off. And like I said, this is a limited time offer, so act fast. Like I said, I made this almost 2 years ago, and I knew the wood wasn't... The problem is, my wood is out here in my workshop, and my workshop isn't heated the same way as my house is. What I really should have done was resawn this lumber, like I did, to build it, then bring it into my house for a good 3 weeks or a month or more. But then you have to be really organized to do that, all right? And the thing about this wood is how figured it is. It is crotch wood that is really wild and spalted, and when it dries out, it can shrink along the length as well because of that crotch wood, okay? Because you've got kind of grain going around a circle, so it's pulling it this way as well. And that's exactly what happened here. I can look along the side here and I can see that it's no longer in line with this. This is the right width at the bottom where the wood is fairly plain, but here through this crotch it pulled in. All right, so the lid actually overhangs the lower part right here on the end, and it's right across, and it's still fairly flush on the other side. So I'm going to try to fix this, and the first thing I need to do is take the hinges off. I got the screws out, but this hinge is kind of stuck, and that illustrates my point. The wood actually shrunk on the sides of, like, the ends of the hinge, so it's kind of clamped in there with the wood movement. It pinched it together, and I'm afraid I'm going to chip the top. I'll, like, break it out if I try to get this out by going straight up, so I think I'm going to have to drive it sideways. I'll use a piece of hardwood to do that. Trying to hold it so that the camera can see is tricky. Puts me in an awkward position, but it's coming. But slowly, it's really in there. I got it. I got it. Okay, so yeah, a little very small minor chip happened there. You can see here's that crotch grain right here. So this whew, pulled in like that, and it clamped on that hinge. All right, nowhere else did it do that. I left room. Let's take the bottom of the box and put it on the bench, which is absolutely flat. Flat as a calm lake. And see what it's doing. It's rocking. It's rocking, and I can see it. It's like this, okay? As this crotch wood shrunk, it curled the wood like this. So I can just plane a little bit off here, and I should be good. So that takes care of that. That's on the bottom, you can't see it. But what about the top? Because, okay, the bottom went down. That means the top went with it. And I've got a full 1/16 of an inch dip here in the middle. So I've got to take some off around. Let me see what it looks like on the other. Same thing. Okay, so I think the easiest way, or the best way, because the easiest way is to take it out in the fire pit and get rid of it. But if I want to keep it, that's, which I do, I absolutely want to keep it, is to run it through the saw. I'll set the fence and cut the bare minimum off that I can get away with here to get rid of that bend. That looks clean, except, you know, I cut away some of my mortises for the hinges, but I'm a woodworker, so I can I can fix that. I'll see what the lid looks like on here. And I don't think there's actually a twist here. And the gap actually doesn't look that bad. I'm just gonna plane a little bit off the bottom here. And no, I'm not going to be able to do this by hand. The grain is going up this way, and then it's going this way on the other side. If I try to plane that, I'm going to be digging into this one while I'm going with this one. So I think I'm going to use a scraper instead. I've got one that I recently sharpened, and I can use that to get it close at least. Okay, I didn't do a whole lot to get it close enough. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But the main thing I was looking for is that it would be sitting flat and not rocking. And even though that's difficult to show, I'm there. Okay, so all I need to do now is put the hinges back on so it's operational again. And then I can touch up the finish on the inside here where I cut it away, and it'll be good for the next 100 years, except it'll be closing properly and sitting properly now.
But it's not going to be pleasant. I value my neck a lot more than $3,000, Chief. I'll find him for 3, but I'll catch him and kill him for 10. You got to make up your minds. You want to stay alive and ante up? You want to play it cheap? Be on welfare the whole winter.